Hello everyone, I'm Neha Vadone from class 11 and I'm studying at Kaylee's International School. Today, I'll be interviewing parents on the topic How satisfied are you with the current education system? So let's get going.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hello everyone. So here we are at the first parent to take the interview. Let's begin with your introduction.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Preeti Bennur. I'm a postgraduate in computer science engineering, and my kid is studying in 8th standard.
Okay, thank you for that, Auntie. Now let's begin with the questions. First, do you feel that the current way we are educating children fully prepares them for the needs of the 21st century?
Actually, the spontaneous answer would be no. Though it has come up with many modifications which are much better than the previous education system, but this doesn't exactly meet the needs of the 21st century. Indeed, we can say they are halfway done, where they have not been finished in a proper way and not implemented in a proper way.
So moving on to the second question. Do you think addition of vocational courses into the curriculum will be of benefit to the children or will it distract them from their studies?
This Currently it is need of the hour. Vocational education is indeed it is the necessity, you can say. It wouldn't divert or distract, because in future the kids have to face many things in life just besides the professional life, where they have lots of things to be taken care of and all. It could be their responsibilities, it could be their stress level, it could be their hobbies. All these things have to be mandatory. So it's always better that they have been trained with all these things right from their schooling days. And vocational education or vocational courses could also help them out in making up their careers.
What are your opinions about written exams being the way to judge a child?
Written exams are an important aspect in judging a child, because somewhere it shows the connectivity between your thoughts which are running in your conscious as well as subconscious mind, and then they're coming out in a written way. So it's an important thing. It shouldn't be the only thing, but it is an important thing where it can be judged.
Do you feel that schools are pressurizing children to choose their career in the fields of medicine or engineering and are training them accordingly?
Not exactly. It's not the schools who are pressurizing the students for medical or engineering. It is somewhere the parents who are pressurizing or guiding, you can say. And there could be many reasons for this. It could be the peer pressure, it could be influenced by somebody, it could be a comparison. There are many reasons for this. The school is not pressurizing, but unfortunately the school is educating the students or giving the education to go towards these things. They are not encouraging the other things. The way they encourage even you are in a school, you must be seeing so many people coming up to advertise the JEE and NEET classes. But there are no other people who are coming and advertising, or even leave advertising, even guiding in the other fields of profession, where there are n number of professions, and they are not even. And unfortunately, students end up not taking those because they are not aware of it. They don't know how to go there. They don't know the opportunities available. So this is the thing which the school needs to promote and support. So indirectly they are being a part of that. We can say.
What do you think about schools not encouraging practical learning? Because in schools we see that not many practicals take place and not everything is taught practically.
Yeah,
What are your opinion?
that's true. Schools are not involved in practical teaching. See, previously when we got a school education, there were some limitations due to which they couldn't do everything practically. It could be the funds which were less with the schools and all, the infrastructure, and the connectivity network and all those things. But today we are fortunately blessed with all these things, and fortunately even the parents can afford giving these things. So the school should encourage more of practical things, and whether it is the not just the science labs. See, generally practical means it's science labs. See, science lab is not the only practical thing. When it comes to social studies, we have so many surrounding historical places. Sundays can be utilized for a one-day trip. They will add pictorial or practical visit to those places will give a good understanding for the students. So, and when it comes to languages also, they can be taken to different villages where they can be shown the folk culture and all, how they speak, how they communicate. Those are things can be included. And when it comes to computers and all, I think even computer subject, it is just taken as it has to be taken formalities. Instead of that, it can be taught in a much better way with more practical or even short industrial visits and all. These all things have to be included. See, if this is done, then the students will make their future on their own. They can decide better. They will not be in a confusion.
So to conclude with, I'll ask my last question now. What was your favorite moment or experience in your own education, and do you think your child is getting that same experience?
See, to some certain things, my child is getting more experiences than me. Because I don't come in the category of parents who pressurize them for him for JW or NEET, to be frank. Besides that, one thing directly or indirectly or cautiously, subconsciously, because he's a part of the society. So even he must be coming under the pressure of making a good career, which we never had. Whether it is a boy or a girl during our schooling age, we were not bothered about. We enjoyed and we were free-minded. We acquired more, and it was a fun when we were doing. We were just acquiring. We were not aware that this has to be accumulated and we have to make a career out of it. So that freedom of thoughts which we had, probably this generation kids are lacking.
So thank you for your valuable words.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So here we are at the second parent's house. Let's start with the questioning. But before that, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Vidya Rane. I have completed my MBA in HR. I have an experience of 10 years with a MNC firm, now running a small business of my own.
Thank you very much. So let's start with the questioning now. Do you think that the current way we are teaching the children prepares them for the 21st century's needs?
The answer will be a mix of both. For now, I thoroughly believe that theoretical and practical way of teaching is more effective in kids than only bookish language. So for now, what we do in our kids is, now I am giving my example of my child who is in 3rd standard. He has a textbook, and that referring based on the textbook, the notes have been given. So like for example, science, when you are giving explaining them about soil, you should have examples, practical examples given to the kids. Then they will understand more than only showing pictures in the textbook. That's what I think. So practical education should be encouraged more in kids these days, is what I believe.
What do you think is a role of the teacher in educating a child?
The base of a student is prepared by a teacher. So the most crucial and important role is a teacher's role in a child's upbringing, and the future of the child is in teacher's hands. So when I say a teacher, we will definitely won't go for a bigger infrastructure or a fancy school. What we parents look for is good teachers. When I say good teachers is, if you have 25 kids in your class, you should know the flaws and the strength of the kids, of each student in your class. So where the person is lacking behind, and probably work on that, then only just going blindly teaching what you have been told to.
What do you think is the most exciting or effective learning environment?
A fun environment is always exciting for the kids. And now I'll tell you, if you there is theoretical problems being solved on the board, you will definitely doze off, right? When there is engagement of teachers and the students collectively, then probably the results will be more than just going blindly writing on the board, is what I think.
Do you think standardized testing, that is written exams and tests, is an effective way of testing the knowledge of a student?
I won't say testing of knowledge of the student, but yes, it is important, because whatever is being taught, you can't just straight away jump to finals and say, okay, you have to learn all this throughout what has been taught at the end of the year. So yes, those small intervals and the small tests are required for the kids to go through whatever is being taught for that particular quarter or that period time frame.
Should choosing of subjects be encouraged from middle school itself?
Not when you say middle school, you're saying higher secondary?
Middle school, somewhere around 5th or 6th standard?
No, they do not have that much of knowledge to select subjects in middle school, but high school, yes. I'll definitely recommend high school. Selecting of subjects in high school is definitely needed for the kids.
Yeah, why would you say so?
Say for example, if one kid is interested in sports and not maths and science, and then he wants to make a career out of sports, why would you just stress on the child to learn maths and science? Probably the ratio should be a little small. So more of sports, less of theory studies, and vice versa. If that particular person is interested in, say for example, only in maths and not in science, then they should channelize the teaching pattern that way, is what I think.
But in today's world, we see that parents expect the students to learn both equally. Like if the student is doing sports along with studies, they want best performance both in studies as well as sports.
So that is what India is lacking behind, right? When you see Western countries, if that particular child is good at sports, they make sure that their 100% is given towards sports and not studies. Okay, studies is required, knowledge is important. I again stress on that. Knowledge is important, but what kind of knowledge you are going to accept and take, that also is important. So one person is interested in arts. There is no point breaking head for that person to go through solving the problems in maths. Okay, then his attention is divided, and then he won't be perfect in what he wants to do in his life, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And what are your opinions about learning history when we actually should be focusing on the future?
That point, when I say our India is rich in history, we should be knowing what our past is. We have diversity of knowledge in our history. So we kids, or our kids, should know what our past had.
Yeah, but I'd like to object this. If you look at your child's SST textbook, then you'll find that we have more of other countries' history in it than our own history. So what are your opinions about that?
Well, not in my child's case. It is not in that his case. So I would stress about the rich heritage that we have, the culture that we follow. Why is the culture so important? Instead of stressing on westernizing our the entire what to say living, we should stress upon why our ancestors were stressing about particular traditions to be followed. The monuments that were built, the forts that were built, the fights that were taken place. Why were the fights taken place? In history also includes the freedom fight that took place. How we suffered for 200 years under British rule, that has to be known by the kids, because the importance of our freedom fighters is beyond everything.
So to conclude with, I'll be asking my last question now. What do you think was the most memorable experience or moment of your education, and is your child experiencing the same?
Well, my education period was totally different to what my child is experiencing now. I will say it is more competitive world now than it was back then. Yes, we had our share of fun, our share of less of stress life. We had our own share of stepping out, co-curricular activities. Nowadays the kids are not, it's not the environment is not the same. It's so competitive that you're pushing your child to do everything. Like he has to learn an instrument, he has to learn swimming, he has to go through dance classes, everything you want your child to be, other than just asking your child to select one thing and master in that particular thing. Or even if they don't want it and they just want to go down and play with their friends, that also is okay. The parents should not stress the child, as per my opinion.
Thank you for sharing your valuable experiences.
Thank you so much.
At the next parent. Before starting, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Aparna Kulkarni. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm an orthopedic and sports physiotherapist. I practice in Belgaum.
Thank you. So let's begin with the questions now.
Sure.
Do you feel that the current way we are educating children is making them prepared for the 21st century's needs?
See, the current way, in the sense, I have put my son in a state board because I have studied child psychology and I feel their brains are not developed to take the pressure. It's just not the studies what they are doing right now. It's the other activities. Like some people want their children to be the best swimmer. Some people want them to be the best player in badminton. But at the same time, they don't understand that a person cannot be, trained in all the fields at the same time. So I feel the educational ways can be like state, ICSE or CBSE. But I feel they should choose the field which they are best into, or give them some time. Don't just be behind them and pressurize them, because they are delicate. They are children. Their minds are very delicate. Just let them play. My son is in a state board. I never pressurize him to be he doesn't go to any tuition right now. I only tell them just read and enjoy your studies. That's it.
So do you think that addition of vocational courses will it be of benefit to the children, or will it distract them from the studies?
See, vocational courses is now a question. Like now, it's like, how people are going for laughing therapy, yoga therapy. Before, we never used to go for a class to laugh, or we never used to go for exercising in a gym or a physiotherapy center. Similarly, children, have you seen, my son will be playing. You get him expensive toys or give him any toys. They will play with the vessels around. They'll start removing all the things. So they like it, like as I said, they may be best into carpentry. They may be best into painting. They start painting on your walls. But I feel that you should know what they want to do at very lower, like intermediate level. We cannot judge what they are best into. Their level of thinking changes at a higher school. So vocational classes definitely will improve. Better than that, it should start at home only, that they should be allowed to do. Allow them to play in the mud, put them in the pottery classes or whatever. Let them do what they want. So this will music therapy and dance classes. Let them do it anywhere, so that it has a very good effect on their minds. And because of this, if the child is doing what he likes, the endorphins are released in their mind, which is the best thing to keep their neurons stimulated, which keeps their mental activity very keen and also inquisitive.
So nowadays we find that people are into this vocational courses and they enroll their children into courses like football, games, other sports as well. But their expectation is that this child needs to do best in both studies as well and in the extracurriculars. What are your opinions on that?
That's what I said. It's up to the child. Like, okay, you go on having a degree. Of course, see, not everybody clicks in the fields. How? Now you see Sachin Tendulkar, he clicked. So we cannot think that everybody is a Sachin Tendulkar. Neither everybody who gets educated will be Ambani. So I feel, what do you want in life, the child should know. If the father is a big businessman, he wants to join the business, please don't block the seats and educate them and waste the seats. But if their intellectual level is so good that he can, some person can sell vada paos and become a millionaire. Some person can do so just tiffins at home in a place like metros, Bombay, Pune, and they can be millionaire. Some people can do simple nice paintings. They paint walls on the streets and they just do it for their liking. They're not behind money. So I think what the child feels or a person when they grow up, what gives you mental peace, harmony and happiness should be, because nowadays behind money, behind fame, name, you don't get this peace, and suicidal attempts are increasing more because of this pressure. Studies also, this also, then they get deviated. They don't know what is best for them. So I feel what is good for them, they should select, the other should be hobby. They should not leave it.
Do you think that nowadays schools are pressurizing the children to opt the fields like medicine and engineering and are not encouraging them to choose any other field apart from these?
It's not just the schools which are pressurizing them. I feel the parents are, and comparison. Like my son is a doctor, my son is this, my daughter is this, but they don't know, they don't want to open up in the fields. Everybody wants to become Katrina Kaif, but nobody wants to train them in the field of heroine or something, because that stigma is still there. Everybody wants, like, see how Modi ji is doing, or how an army person. Only that day everybody stands up, salutes when anybody is, so many deaths take place at the army, our border. Nobody wants to send their children into army. So the beautiful fields, you should know what is the, who you are serving to and what keeps you happy. So I feel the parents are just behind, like they should mint money. But how many hours these people are working in metros? We feel they are in US, they are in some other place. Now my son is settled. Are you are left alone here? What about that? I treat patients whose children are not here. What are we making them? They are going to other places and working for their country, not for our country. So I feel rather than pressurizing, I think teachers should counsel them what is good. An IQ test should be conducted in which the children are good. Of course, they will know which fields are there. Some awareness classes should be conducted in their schools. Like now, there's cosmetology. There is like how the army people are trained. You take them to the fields and make them know what are these branches, because they are unaware of these.
In other countries, we see that students are categorized and put into schools and colleges based on their percentages. So if the same thing is implemented in our country, what would be your opinion on that?
I think there should be one more thing. It's not only the percentage, it's on the casteism also. Okay? For Brahmins, I don't know whether we have merit seats. Why seats are blocked, first of all? Why do you take exams when the seats are given on these merits, this caste system? Or somebody is low caste, somebody is into this, somebody is into NCC. Some schools don't even have NCC quota, so those children are not. Do you think they are not eligible for NCC free seat? They go to the I don't know much, because I had no NCC in my school. I lost that. So I always feel that the percentage wise seats should be given in 12th. Every college is same. All the teachers are beautiful. And of course, it is not the teacher is going to show us the light. We have to sit there and study. So you can't blame any teachers. Everything is dependent on the atmosphere around the student. So I feel the percentage, this college is good for that college, everywhere, that should be blocked. It should be given on the mark list, and it should be given on the Like now suppose a person is good in art college, you choose. All the students should be given there. No quotas, no this, nothing. But nowadays where it is there, it is all about money. Okay, so money thing, I feel many poor people are deprived of it. There should be one class where they have to be allotted seats so that everybody can study all the branches. It should not be like मुझे ये seat नहीं मिली इसलिए मैंने ये लिया. I feel that.
What is your opinion about learning history when we should actually be focusing on the future?
See, I'm a paramedical student. If I don't study the anatomy, it's like anatomy study of your body. How am I going to diagnose a person? So it's like that. If I don't know the history, you can never, work on your future. If you see your parents, you can, do better than them. That is all I feel, that history is very important. But doesn't matter. See, you should know like what you are proud of, how our kings or what our land, motherland has been blessed with. And because this, if you don't know what we had, we cannot preserve in the next generation. Okay, now we are all digging everything everywhere, but we should know before they used to protect the motherland. Now we are just not thinking of global warming, nothing, just going on progressing, leaving behind. So I feel now again people are coming back to, I just read an article that day, a house was built with only bricks, with well ventilated airs, there was harvesting done, water harvesting, there was no electricity used, it was all solar paneled. So that is again a natural thing. So if you know the history, the houses were built like that only. Yeah. So I feel history is important, provided they should have a choice to the students. If now they don't want, if they have very well decided in 7th standard that they want to go to this field, or 10th standard, then 11th, 12th or anything, I don't think they should involve all these subjects.
So coming to the last question of the day, what was your best moment of your education, and do you think your child will get the same experience?
Yes. My best moment was, I was a very shy person when I went to my school initially. I was good in studies but very good in sports, dance. But when I first went on the stage one day, I didn't know that only studying would promote me. I couldn't speak a word on the stage. My topic was apple a day keeps your doctor away. And I just went on the stage and I said this line, ulta pulta, the way I said now. And then I came back. I realized I can't speak on the stage. Then I was like, just not studies or coming top in the class matters. So I have to, speak. So these things, I learned one thing, that just being best in one field doesn't matter. You have to touch up everywhere. You should know to speak. You should know to, paint, because it keeps me going. So I make my son do painting. He's a very bad painter, but he does very good sketches. He likes to do gardening, which I like, he also likes. So I make sure he does all the things. So it is very important. That's the best moment I learned, that, just studying and mugging up everything is not going to keep you going in your life.
Thank you for sharing your
valuable
experiences. So here we are at the next parent's house. Before we begin, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Myself, Devendra Singh Chilwal, and I'm proud father of twins. They are 10 months old. So this is something related to education. So I'm very much interested in answering whatever best possible. Please.
So let's begin with the questions now. The first question is, today you see parents running around with their children from schools to tuitions. What kind of education system do you want your children to grow up in?
Yes, it is true that seeing the present scenario where there's too much competition in studies these days, so parents right from the children's very early age, when they are too young, they keep running behind with them for studies and all. It's a good thing also, we should take it positively, but why my personal opinion is that rather than running only for the education thing, the parents should also focus on the extracurricular activities on the kids, because that is also one of the most important things that plays a vital role in their life.
Seeing that the new education policy is going to be implemented soon, which will include the vocational courses, and it will allow the children to choose the subjects. So, do you think this will benefit the children, or will it cause the children to lose interest in prospective jobs such as becoming a doctor or an engineer?
Uh, for the new education policy, I would say, like, saying this, I'm very positive about it. Like, it is already there in the other countries too. And if India we are following the positive path, that will be very correct. And like, we have to somewhere down the lane, we have to identify the true potential of the kids. And every kid is an individual and is different from the other one. So we cannot judge all the kids on the same parameters. So if vocational courses are being introduced, so it is for the benefit of the children, right? Like, see, there are students who are very good at studies, who are very good at curricular activities, who are very good at games. So they should get all equal opportunities. And the educational system in India, like previously also, it has been very good. It is like what we say is ours is also one of the best. The reason is today the very giant companies are being headed by Indians. Okay, so that is one important thing. And the education system for any country, it plays a very vital role. It is actually the backbone of the country, where the kids, right from the starting age, they learn many things. Not only studies, but they know the difference between right and wrong. Okay, overall, this helps them to become a good citizen.
And to what extent do you want co-curricular activities to be a part of your child's learning?
Since starting, I have been telling that co-curricular activities are equally important like studies. Okay, see, there are some people are talented in some fields, some people are talented in other fields. So co-curricular activities has to be there, because if it is not the part of the curriculum, the students' true potential cannot be identified. Okay, for going back to your previous question, like it says, there will be vocational courses for plumbing and other courses. Okay. So this is very important. Okay, every job is dignified. Each job, irrespective of the task, it is dignified. Plumber in India, we say the plumbing course, we take it not very good compared to doctor and engineer. But if you go to foreign countries, it is equally important. The mechanical, the field jobs are treated more important. They get very well paid there, rather than only the IT companies or doctor or engineers apart from them. So it is a very good move from the government.
And we see in other countries that children are put into colleges and schools based on their percentages. So what is your opinion about students being categorized based on their marks?
Right. Actually, categorized words, like I personally, I don't feel it in a negative way. Okay, if they are being categorized, it is for their benefit. Every student is different. One person is very good at studies, he will score 90%. Other one will be very good at sports, he will be a very good footballer. So if based on their marks they are being given colleges, it is very good, because the very high caliber students, if they are opting for the courses wherein the good studies are required, it will be beneficial for them. Whereas the students where they are scoring little less marks compared to the other one, they will have better opportunities, okay, for the other vocational courses. So they will have a better career there, rather than all going for the same streamlines, only a few focus courses, running behind, only few will get selected, other ones will be left out. So that somewhere it will be like this thing, this is also a good move.
And now coming to the last question, what was your best experience in your learning, and do you think your children will be able to experience it?
Frankly telling, like, my best experience in the school time was like the games part, okay, sports part, that I mostly enjoyed. And it is true, like even after COVID, now the online courses are more, and even classes they are focusing on more online. So I think what we have enjoyed at our time, that was education with games and other extracurricular activities. The students in future, they might lose on that part, because it will slowly it will become virtual learning and all. So the real gel up and the on ground fields, playing, all those things, they'll be missing definitely.
Thank you for your valuable experience.
Right. Thank you for letting me share my opinions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now we are here to take the interview of a parent who also is a teacher. So before starting, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Priyanka Joshi. I'm a teacher as in profession. I'm teaching in a engineering college, KLS Kokte Institute of Technology, Belgavi. And yeah, I'm passionate about my teaching.
Thank you. So let's start with the questioning now. Do you think that schools and colleges are preparing students for just NEET and JEE nowadays and are not encouraging them to take career in any other profession?
Well, what we can say in the college and schools, yeah, I agree to your question. More parents and kids are more into the technical and doctoral field only, wherein they go for the competitive exams, like you say, JEE and NEET. But yeah, there are a lot of other streams also wherein nowadays they are looking as a profession. But the mindset behind this choosing the profession, we need to change, what I feel. Yeah, the change is there, but it's a very gradual. So students are preparing more about this, and then when they fail, they don't have that much training. I feel that they should get their choice based profession. So first of all, the support is required from the family for that, and student should be more firm about his or her decision that he or she wants to go into that stream only.
So nowadays the vocational courses are being introduced in the learning. Do you think that will be of good change to the children, or will it be a distraction from studies?
I feel it's a really good change because these vocational courses nowadays they have also included under NEP, what I feel, because they are allowed to have internships in their hobby field, wherein they can have a music internship, they can have their dance internship, they can have their literary internship. So these vocational courses are very much helpful to the students, and I feel we should also encourage such things, so that not only apart from the studies, it's a personality development course, what I feel. And it's always have a good hobby with you apart from your profession, which will be really helpful to them in their further life.
Do you think that overburdening the children with studies is causing their loss of interest in studies?
Mm, I would say that it completely depend upon that child or student who is. Sometimes students don't accept the overburden, and they feel distracted more, because overburdening will have lack of interest also, what I feel. So overburdening is not everybody's, managing overburden in studies is not everybody's cup of tea. I feel students should understand, like, yeah, this is my break point, I need a break, I should take a break and come back with my studies. But sometimes if a student is overburdened, then what they do, they skip that much and then they go further, wherein they don't get the continuity in the studies, wherein they lack and loss of interest would be there. So managing with this is really need to taught them.
Do you think that only written exams are effective way of checking how much a student has learned?
Well, I'm a teacher, evaluation is my part, but only written exams should not be there, and I don't think so it's now in a continuous process. Evaluation also they have included. See, whatever you have learned, the outcome should always be evaluated in terms of some exam. So there would be some physical test or written test. but not always a written test only. So judging them based on their written exam is not always good, what I feel.
So coming to the last question, what do you think was your best moment in your own education, and is your child experiencing the same?
I don't go with a like theoretical based. I always love to teach my students as well as my kid. Activity based learning is what I always promote. So if you include them with some activity, their interest will come. They will learn something from that. They will experiment there, and then I feel what is more important is creativity, thinking by themselves is what I feel is important. So I always go with activity based learning. So such few good experiences or moments I have while my teaching professions. They learn, they laugh, they enjoy that what I feel. So that is more what I want to improve with my students.
Thank you for sharing your valuable experiences.
Thank you so much, Naina.
So here we are for the next interview. Before starting, I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Shruti Reddy. I stay in Ganeshpur. I was working in Pune for past 4 to 5 years, and I passed out my school from St. Joseph's Government High School.
Thank you very much. So let's begin with the questions now. What do you think is the role of a teacher in a student's learning?
Okay, according to me, a teacher is the most important person of a child's life, you can say, because she is the one who can teach according to the books. A mother is the first teacher, I do agree with it, but whatever the book knowledge we have, career guidance, and what you can say, good habits, bad habits, there must be a person who can differentiate between these two. So, a teacher is a very important role.
Do you think that addition of vocational courses will help the children in a better way, or will it distract the children from studies?
Vocal studies must be there, but I prefer more of writing, because orally is different and writing knowledge is different, totally different skills. So I think both are most important.
Do you think written exams are the only way of testing the student's knowledge?
No, I do not think so, because written exam, oral exams, your other cultural activities are also important. The student must not be a bookworm.
And do you think nowadays schools are pressurizing children to choose fields such as medicine or engineering, and they are not letting them explore other careers?
Yes, I do feel the schools are more responsible, because you must look in an interest for a student, like what part they are studying. If he is interested in sports, he must be motivated in sports also. If he wants to be a chef, they must motivate them. It's not only medicine or engineering what is there in the market nowadays.
Thank you for your valuable guidance and experience.
Thank you.